Hi guys, so this is Latoya with Crowning Our Queens, and I wanted to give you a quick introduction to my brand. Some of you guys have seen my brand on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, floating around here, but you probably don't actually get the concept of my brand. So today I wanted to make sure I clarified what my brand is about and how I'm here to help the community. So my brand focuses on self-love, healing, and building confidence in women. The reason why I chose to do that, because I feel like a lot of us women have that issue. We want to be perfect, but we don't actually, love ourselves the way that we need to love ourselves. I myself suffered from that at one point. I used to think I wasn't pretty enough. I used to think that, no one loved me and all these other issues, right? And then I had to actually tap into my healing. And then when I started tapping into my healing, I see myself actually heal. God actually placed more people in my life, or more women in my life, and that was going through something that was maybe similar, or they had their own different path, but all in all they needed healing, right? Or they needed to love themselves more. And so what my brand does is we have different events. We have to help love yourself. Like what's coming up soon is a pageant. And this pageant is for girls between the age of 16 to 21 in the Dallas area. And so my pageant is actually going to do those three things. Like I said, build that self-love, build that healing, and build confidence, but while having fun, enjoying yourself. I think that, us as women, we go through so much. I keep saying that, like, we go through so much. And like in this day and age, it's like the get over it crew. Everybody wants you to just get over it. They want you to go through something, and it could be traumatic, and they want you to just get over it. But that's not what really happens. What happens is we internalize that pain, and that pain starts to become trauma, and it starts to become triggers, and it's hard for us to get over that. So what my brand is, and how I'm building my brand, is that I'm building a place where there's a safe place, right? Where you can come here, come on one of my platforms, go on my YouTube channel, go on my website, and you can actually have this safe place where you can actually express yourself, heal yourself. Now, we don't take the place of any therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed, even though at some of my events I will have licensed therapists, but we don't take the place of it. We just give you something that actually is fun, something that actually helps you to heal. And it just comes from a place of myself, like some of the things I've been through, or some of the things that I research, or maybe a friend told me about that I know that may be traumatic, or may be hard for you to get over. And my brand is actually something that will help you, push through. I think that we need more positivity in our lives. I think that it's important for us to work on gratitude statements, affirmations. That self-talk is very important. So I think, like, in my brand, we talk heavily about those things. We talk heavily about the way you speak to yourself. But I also want to be able to create good memories for you, because I feel like sometimes we have so much negativity in our life, and all we can think about the negative stuff, but we don't have enough positive stuff in our life. And so my brand is actually going to help bring some positivity, hopefully, to you, And so that's one of the things that I plan on doing with my brand, and that I have been doing. So if you are not aware of my brand, definitely check out Crowning Our Queens. You can go crowningourqueens.com, or Crowning Our Queens on any of the platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We on here. And I do want to give a little story about why I decided to actually start my brand. So one of the main things that I decided to do was because, like I said, I suffer from not loving myself enough. I suffer from, not thinking I was pretty enough, or thinking that I didn't belong in certain places. And I really didn't have anybody to build me up, and I can't blame that on any of my family or anything like that, because they probably didn't know that about me, that because I appeared to be so confident. But at the same time, I was like, I'm going through this. Let me just push through. I was the queen of, let me push through. What's the solution? Like, this is the problem. What's the solution? I don't want to go through the emotions. I never wanted to actually go through my emotions because I felt like that made me weak, And so when God decided to like show me something different, when God decided to take me on another journey, it brought out the need for me to heal. And then it brought out the need. I was like, okay, once I start healing and God showed me it's more people out here that needs to heal. There's more people like you, Toya, that needs to be to go through this healing process. They don't know where to start. They don't know where they belong. They're lost. And so one day I was posting, or I went through this motion of posting like a lot of inspirational quotes on my personal Instagram. And so I would have these random women like be in my inbox like, oh my gosh, I went through that. Oh my gosh, I went through this, And I was like, oh my gosh, really? And they was like, you don't know, like this post is so inspiring to me. And all I was doing was just sharing. But then I realized that that's just where God called me, like God called me to attract those women. And I was going through my own thing, I was trying to figure out me. And God was like, no, Toya, this is what you got to do. As you start living in your purpose, I'm going to start to bless you. And so I had like one time, like this person had prophesied over me and they was like, you a healer, and I was like, I'm a healer. I just didn't know, like me, a healer. I like, oh my gosh, I did not know or even, fathom that I can heal people. Right. And so, God started bringing these people in my life. And then I thought about that, what this person prophesied over me, that I was a healer. And I was like, well, maybe is this what you want, God? Because my relationship at this time was building so strong with God. I always had faith. Like, that's my mother. Like, I'm a person of like strong faith, right? I believe that, I can move mountains. I believe my faith can move mountains, like me trusting God, like that's just how it was. But in this time of my life, I was just like, dang, where do I go? I kind of felt lost at the time. I was trying to figure out me. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel love. Like, I just felt like I wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't with anyone. And I think I banked I'm realizing this now. Maybe I banked my happiness off of like being in a relationship. And then God just told me like, be still, And that's kind of like what I did. I started praying more. I started meditating more. I started just like building my spirituality more. And as I did that, God started revealing stuff to me. Like I could be asleep and something would come to me in the middle of the night. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I had to start writing it down, like different messages and stuff like that was coming to me. And I had to like start writing these type of things down because I was like, like, wow, like what's going on here? And I'm saying all that to say because like as God was ministering to me in that moment is when I decided that I needed, or it was given to me. I'm not going to say anything was decided for me. It was given to me in that moment that this is my path, and that my blessings is going to come as I honor myself. And so that's why with Crowning Our Queens, you're going to see me do a lot of stuff that's creative because I'm honoring myself. I used to love pageants as a little girl. I used to love modeling as a little girl, and when I started like getting into that and I started like building my brand, I was like, God, show me something what I need to do for girls that are like teenagers so I can like help them at that moment, help them in that moment to actually, help them in that moment to actually, keep them from doing something that's stupid or doing something. Because like 16 to 21 with my pageant, the age of 16 to 21, that is an age where a lot of girls are discovering who they are. You think you're grown at 16 to 21, right? Like you just think you absolutely grown. And so with that, you know, I feel like that's a good age to start because, you know, I'm catching you early, you know, in this life to teach you boundaries, teach you confidence, teach you about relationships, you know, teach you about narcissism, you know, like there's a lot of narcissistic people out there, and teach you how to honor yourself in relationships, because I feel like if you're in or out of a relationship, it should not define you, right? It should not be to the point where you get out of this relationship, you're lost. You know, you may be hurt, but you shouldn't be lost, because at the same time, you should have always been honoring who you are in that relationship. And so in my my program, and as I start showing you guys more stuff about my my brand, you know, you're going to realize that, you know, I need to be my authentic self no matter what. And I think that that's something that's really came to me lately, is that as I start honoring myself, start loving myself more, you know, being my authentic self, that's where my blessings are coming from. That's where my peace is coming from. Because when I was out here not showing people who I was, being somebody I wasn't peaceful. I wasn't happy. I may have thought I was happy, but I wasn't truly happy. And so I can't stop everybody, or I can't stop every little girl from going through that, or I can't stop every woman from going through that. But as my life journey, as things I've learned, you know, and things that God may put on my heart to actually show you, you'll start noticing that. It'll start helping you pretty much, you know, like we'll work on certain things. Like I have courses coming up to build your self-love, to help you heal through some of that trauma. I also have, like I said, I have my pageant. I have some women events. I'm going to do resorts or retreats type stuff. It's going to be all things honoring like your divine feminine. I couldn't say it. Femininity. that divine feminine energy. I don't know what happened. Like I got stuck. I'm silly, y'all, so don't mind me. But like, yeah, so my brand is actually going to do that. Like, I'm just so excited about my brand and like what God has given me, because I want to show you guys more of me. I want to, like, you know, as I'm fired up, I want you to be fired up. And if there's something that you want to talk about, or if it's something that, you know, you need help with, definitely let me know. Because one of the things we could do, we could start bringing that out, you know, in the forefront on my brand. We can start talking about things like that. I also have a book club that I'll be starting soon as well. And we can start reading books and growing and healing together, because that's the whole point. I want you to be your true self. I want you to walk in your true power. And that's what my brand is about, is for you to do that. And I feel like, you know, like, I don't know if you guys ever heard this before, but like when I used to go to church all the time, one of the things that I used to hear preachers say is that, oh, you didn't go through that for yourself. You went through that for somebody else. You went through that to help somebody else. And I truly think that some of the stuff I've been through is definitely for somebody else, because now I can relate. You know, now I've been through that. You know, I've gone through those type of things, and now I can really relate to people, you know, like, just a little vulnerability here. Like for me, I want to transition to being a vegan. Like, it's hard for me. I'm kind of there now. I'm kind of pescatarian, but I could go vegan for a little while, but then I'll go back to meat. But like this year, I haven't went back to meat. I've been like at the most eating fish. And I realized that me doing that, you know, helps me mentally, because, you know, like eating beef and eating chicken, you know, it made me, you know, kind of made me, I don't know if anybody can relate, but it kind of made me a little sad sometimes, like, or my energy was low, or processed food, fried food, low energy, right? Sorry, low energy. And, now I'm like, I have a little more energy now. My moods are higher. And I realize that food does play into like your anxiety, because I'm one who have anxiety attacks, you know, but I feel like lately I've had that under control. And it's mostly the food, you know. And but yeah, I mean, just little things like that, you know, like I feel like it's very important. Like once you start loving yourself more, you're going to start choosing the right things. And you know, and everything is a journey, because I've been doing that since like January 15th ish, you know, of this year. And I haven't really like dropped any weight or anything like that, but like eventually I will. And I don't want to say like, oh, I'm like sad about my weight. No, I'm not, you know, I'm really not. But I'm just trying to be my best self, you know. And I think like that's just me being vulnerable here, of saying like, I want to be my best self. And so I'm going to do and take strides to being my best self, you know. And so like, I'm just noticing like food does play a part. You know, movement plays a part. If you like, and I'm just saying like to build your mood up. Like if you're in the house all the time, laying around in the house all the time, it makes you sad, you know. Brings on, I don't care how peaceful your house is, it brings on a sad energy if you're just laying up in the house not doing nothing. And so for me myself, I decided like, oh, I'm gonna ride my bike. I have a bike I ride, you know, and I try to ride it like at least 2 or 3 times a week. But this is just little things that I do for my movement, you know, like building myself up. And like me saying that is like, find things that makes you happy. Like if you watch this video, I feel like God meant for you to watch this video. And I hopefully that this is inspiring to you. Hopefully you tap into the brand. But, you know, like I just want you guys, I feel like this is the message that God told me to close out with. Like, find your happiness, you know, find who you really are, discover who you really are, and live in your truth, you know. And find, like I said, find what makes you happy. We only have one life to live on this earth, you know. Some people believe in reincarnation, some people don't, you know. But really and truly, we only know about one life. And this, we got to be present in this one moment. And I really want you guys to be present in this moment. Do everything that you can to make yourself happy. Do everything that you can to love yourself more, because it's really, really important here. But again, I'm going to end this. Definitely find, like I said, find me on anything, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Crowning Our Queens. Below, I'm going to drop the link to my business. The link to my website. So you can check me out there. But anyway, guys, it was nice chatting with you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Talk to you later.